Hey everyone, how's it going? In this video I'm going to be talking about how to get help in Linux or just getting help in general on a Linux system. And in this case we're going to be talking about RHEL 9. So I'm going to be working off my webpage here. So this is lab 4, how to get help in Linux. So the focus here is to locate, read, and use system documentation. This is part of the objectives that are listed on the RHEL website. Including man, info, and files in the user share doc. Cool. So when starting out with using a man page or any info page or just getting help in general, it's always because we want to do something. So that's you should focus on the end goal and then using those man pages and info pages to get to your goal. So in this case, for example, let's do this. We're going to pretend that we have the task or goal of finding out the last created directory in the learner's home directory. So let's start with the first command. It's going to be make directory, and then we're going to do NEWDR like this. So main directory, and if we use ls, we should be able to see it now, new directory. And then moving on. So first we learned the ls in lab 2, and that'll help us list it out, right? So we can see that we have new directory there now, but not much information after that. So ls alone won't help us meet our goal. From here we have several options. So we have the help option, right? So we can put a command and then we can put a -h, hold on, like this, or you can do it like this, right? So ls like this. That brings up a lot of information, so let me just back it out a little bit here. So that's what, it's usually a command with -h, or it can be like -- and then help like this. And so here we can see a lot of information, right? And this is very helpful for us because it gives us all the options that a command would have. Okay, so now what we really want to focus on this time though is man pages, because man pages are going to be really important, especially when you're on the exam. You're going to have these man pages available to you. So for ls, we're going to do, let's see, let me scroll down here. We're going to do man ls like this. Boom. So it's going to bring up a separate like page, and this page for sure, it's going to be a little bit different with how you navigate it. You can also use your mouse to scroll when you have the GUI, or the graphical user interface. And in this case, we're going to learn how to use a few ways to navigate. So the first thing we want to focus on is the arrow keys. It can help us move up and down. We can also use the space bar to move down a page, like a whole page like this. You can do page up as well if you have those buttons, page up, page down. Another thing that we can do is go straight to the bottom with Shift G, and then if we want to go back up to the top, it's just regular G, like this. And then if we wanted to leave the man page, we can just Q and just quit, like that. So these are very similar to Vim commands, and we'll talk about the Vim editor in later videos. So for example, we go back, man ls, like this. We can go down to the bottom, Control G. And then we can go back to the top with just lowercase g. Now, something really important that's going to be important is the search. So we're going to do / here, right here, just from opening it up, we can do / and then we can do like search for a pattern. So a pattern is just a word, a string, number, something like that, and then we can press enter like this, and it'll highlight what we found. So we can hit N for next, like this, to go forward into what's been highlighted. It's like control find, like if you're in the browser. So you can hit N like that, and then that's the last one that we have, is that list. And then we can shift N to go backwards. Okay, so let's say we're at the bottom. What we can do now for searching is question mark, and so we can do question mark. And if we're at the bottom, it's going to search backwards. So it's going to go backwards, okay? And then we can do N, because it was searching backwards now. So N is the next from bottom up. All right, so moving on. Another thing we can do here while we're on the man page is press H for help, right? And this will give us a good summary of the buttons we just talked about, okay? And we'll quit that, and then we'll just press Q to get out of that screen and back to the main page. Now, as we're looking here, we can see all type of options, right? All, it won't ignore, listing the dot files, and we scroll down here. I'm gonna focus on the L, which is listing the long format, right? So let's take a look at that one. So if we do ls L like this, we can see that we get a lot more information along with dates, right? So here we can see already this is the most recent file. So this gave us a lot of information. But what if we had like 100 files? So that would be a lot different, because then we wouldn't want to have to peek and try to figure that out. So we can go back to our man page like this, and then scroll down, and then I already have it here that we're going to be looking for the T, just to save some time here. So T, where is T? T is going to be sort by time, newest first, right? And if we, let's say we just got the task, we can do time search, right, with forward slash, and then look. N, we said time, full time, like L. Keep going, and then we get down to the T's, and boom. So that's an example of just how you would try to search it if you're unfamiliar with that man page. So here now we can apply T, and then boom. So we get our most recent at the top there, okay? So that's an example of how you would use a man page, just to figure out what options you have available to you, especially when you're trying to complete a goal. Because sometimes you'll get a task and it'll just have like, make a new user. You have a keyword there that you can use, which is user. So that's a good example of now we can use, for example, how to look for a command searching man pages. So we can even search man pages themselves that's available on the machine. So if we just man K, right, that's the option that we're going to use. And just for fun, I can show you man like this. You can man the manual pages. So for example, like this, it'll give you a lot of options. I encourage you to explore that as well. But in this case, we just want to focus on what's important. And so for example, we're going to do man K, right? And let's just do user, like I just talked about, user. So if you get something like this, what this means is that the man pages aren't indexed. So what we can do is man DB, right? Manual database, right? And let's see what happens here. Okay, perfect. And so it looks like something happened here. Man DB. Let's see. Maybe I have to sudo. And I don't remember the password I used for this. 1, 2, 3. Oh, there it goes. And now it's updating the man pages. Perfect. So now we're back, and then we can see that all the man pages should be indexed now. And you can see here on the total here, 8,234 manual pages were added. Okay, so we can control here. It's a little busy, and we can do man K user. And here you go. We have all the options and manual pages that include the word user. Okay. And then the next thing we're going to talk about briefly is we're going to talk about the shared doc folder. So here, if we want, we can just do a copy and paste from the link I have on the website there, and then you can do ls list user share doc like this, and then here we can explore all the manual pages or document pages that are available. So here, this is all for the software that's available on the machine, and it's usually downloaded once you install the package, okay? In this last section here that I have, we're gonna be talking about info pages. Now, I'm not gonna spend too much time on info pages, only because I think that the man pages and the help options sufficed for me, especially when I took the exam, because I just became so familiar with the man pages and where to find things. But we can explore it either way, because it can be a tool that can be useful, because it does provide a lot more information. So first things first, let's clear that out. Let me zoom back in here a little bit. And then so we're going to do here info ls, our favorite command. We're going to do this. And again, it just brings up a lot more details you can see that is available to you. And you can scroll down, page down, and we can page down and see a lot of examples and options. And as you can see here, here's an actual example. And then one thing too, while you're in here, you can do help. And then this will have some more documentation here explaining more about man pages, how to maneuver them, how to go through them, and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this one. Like I said, I think it's super important to know that they're there and then be able to search them and know what you're looking for. And then that's it for lab 4. Man pages and help options should suffice for the EX200, and we will continue to use them throughout the rest of the course. Trying to remember every command is it's simply impossible. You have to just become super resourceful when it comes to finding things out when you need them, and knowing where to look and knowing how to use the tools that are available to you to search and do things like that. Okay, thank you so much.